Ladies, gentlemen, Bothan spies, both living and dead, I have officially endured the rise of Skywalker. Now, what follows is part review, part postscript, delineating precisely how a series seemingly tailor-made for unprecedented cinematic success that began by breaking long-held box office records somehow over the course of 3 films and 2 spin-offs, alienated all but its most ardent supporters and exhausted an Olympian fuckmound of fanboy hype to become perhaps the most prominent disappointment in sci-fi fantasy history. Before we move on to the movie itself and how it's now bleeding viewership with something like a 71% drop in its third fucking week, let's rap about the title for a minute. Now, I do dimly recall my reaction to the Rise of Skywalker trailer, which at this point I reckon would have been a better final cut of the fucking film, contained the prediction that, and I quote, Rey apparently identifies as a Skywalker. And high holy flying fucking Steen, did I ever call the hell out of that one. Calling everyone who wants to be one a Skywalker is a bit like what's happened to once weighty terms like, I don't know, xenophobe, sexist, and anti-disestablishmentarianist. In short, if everyone is a racist, no one is a racist. So if Daisy Ridley can park her pooter on a fucking sandbank and declare herself a goddamn Skywalker because she cooked the fucking Emperor with her pussy powers, guess what officially amounts to the square root of dick? Which gives it something in common with its fucking franchise, by the way. In the self-same rant, I discussed the challenge of attempting to turn around negative word of mouth in a massive trilogy 3 films the fuck in. Even Return of the Jedi, my favorite Star Wars film for the record, made markedly less than the second film in the series, never mind the fucking first, and that's not because they're bad, folks. Most people like Empire Strikes Back the best of all, and that movie made nearly half as much as the original film, proving one thing and one thing alone. Even a great series naturally tends to bleed viewership as it rolls along, shedding casual moviegoers in the process, and the sequel series, I think we can all agree, is anything but goddamn great. Fuck, the high watermark was The Force Awakens, a watchable, if feckless nostalgia wank, starring a villain who looks like someone tried to draw Alan Rickman from memory and a cybernetic soccer ball. Answers to the name of Rey. Point being, it was all downhill from there. And before anyone makes excuses for Jar Jar Abrams, it's anything but impossible to reverse that trend, provided your films are actually worth watching. But folks, Rise of Skywalker is not the film you're looking for. Is it offensively bad? Without indulging in over many spoilers, that kind of depends on, what you take offense to. If the self-same muff politics and identitarian Disney dog shit that turned Last Jedi into a laborious fucking fem-scold is what you find most odious, you may find you have a higher tolerance for Rise of Skywalker than The Last Jedi. If adherence to lore, believable character motivations, and a plot that even attempts to explain itself is of paramount importance, however, run, don't walk to the fucking exits. How puerile is a plot, you inquire? Well, you know that opening text crawl that was leaked and I posted to Twitter, everyone called fucking fake, that in essence amounted to, the Emperor's back cause yada yada humana kill that bitch, yo? It's real. It's real! It's the disrespect that burns deepest, I think. Everything from princess stock footage to the appearance of the Emperor for no logically explicable reason smacks of cynical manipulation of the nostalgia nerve for its own fucking sake. Look, I'm the biggest Darth Sidious mark on the fucking planet, and Ian McDiarmid rules in this, even with laughable fucking dialogue. But folks, let's be real. This ain't the fucking Emperor. This is J.J. Abrams playing with an action figure of the fucking Emperor.
Knock on my door! Knock next time! Yes, sir. Did you see anything? No, sir. I didn't see you playing with your dolls again. Good!
Like Rian Johnson with Luke before him, it's a fan film. Fuck, it ain't even that. I've seen more faithful fan films on the Force.fucking-net. And poor Luke Skywalker. Whatever wank-happy retcon Abrams attempts in this film, imagine your 2 choices of ending are evaporating into a Force fart because you concentrated too hard, or marrying a ginger. Not gonna lie, I'd swallow my fucking saber. And speaking of saber swallowing, even before release, news traveled like force lightning that Rise of Skywalker would feature the series' first openly gay characters. Huzzah! Finally a life partner for C-3PO. But true to full of shit form, they yeeted the scene from the Asiatic release. Yikes! I guess grandstanding about gayness begins in a fursuit at a fucking game award show and stops at Chinese borders, eh, Kathy? As I've noted before, the lone exception to the aforementioned law of diminishing returns was Revenge of the Sith, also one of my favorite Star Wars films, and inflicted almost single-handedly repossessed itself and the series after a lackluster effort in Attack of the Clones. If you follow up a strikeout with a home run, folks will tend to remember the fucking homer. It made more money than Episode 2, because it's a fucking lot better than Episode 2. When the problem with the sequel series is that it's predicated on a sandstone foundation of fan service and vacuous cameos, hiring back the director that turned the first film into a glorified remake of the original Star Wars is a curious fucking tactic indeed. It's time to accept it, folks. Rian Johnson was not the problem here. He merely contributed to it. I mean, really go back and watch The Force Awakens. Wait for the final credits to roll and really ask yourself, what story was I actually exposed to here? The answer? You really weren't. You were instead given a hint of a story in the fucking future. Rian Johnson, whatever his multifarious flaws, was saddled with the thankless assignment of effectively fabricating an entire story, whole cloth, because The Force Awakens was too busy killing Han Solo and recycling a story that already fucking existed. You want the Cliff Notes? J.J. Abrams couldn't correct this problem, because J.J. Abrams created this problem. Truth hurts, invest in ibuprofen, bitch. Rise of Skywalker is a strangely prismatic experience as a result. Depending on which angle you approach it from, it's either innocuous and inconsequential, or among the worst Star Wars films ever made, with little middle ground real estate for fucking sale. Oh, and in case after the tri-titty blue milk monster from the last gasp of the Jedi, you've still yet to fill the tank on nightmare fuel, Emperor Palpatine, as a matter of official canon, blew a bubbling Sith load inside a broad. You're welcome. What am I saying? One. Always two there are. No more. No less. I'm Razor Fist. God, fuck you! I was right! Fuck you! I was right!